All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. This is the FAQ version of the Oliver Perry Show with my man Joseph. Which side is he on? Yes, right finger. Oh, no, over here. Over here. Yeah, there you
You
go.
got
Focus in there, camera. All right, so Joseph is going to answer these frequently asked questions. There's 4 questions. Actually, I'm lying. There is 6 questions. 6 questions. So we're going to run through these questions, and I want you guys to get something out of this, and make sure you share this with somebody. So if you're watching, like, comment, subscribe now. Hit the bell so that we know not that we know, that you know when I post a new video for you to get some content from when it comes to real estate. All right, Joseph, here we go. What is the best way to get started in wholesaling?
So there's two things. It's a double-edged answer. One, find a mentor, whether it's someone in your community, right? Someone in your community who's doing this, they're doing what you want to do or what you aspire to do.
Right.
And always come with some sort of value. And a lot of people be like, well, Joseph, I have nothing to offer. Well, you can offer some sort of, maybe you can cold call for them. Maybe you can even work with them or for them for a little bit. That's
Okay.
okay. A lot of people get weary of doing that. And I understand it because it's that entrepreneur mentality of like, I have to do it on my own and I need to build it. Um, right. The second thing to that is YouTube University. There's so much content on YouTube that you can find. There's free Facebook groups. There's so many people out there that you can reach to that are doing this. But whenever you reach out to someone who's doing this, always make sure they're credible, because there's a lot of fake people on the internet who will say they know how to do this, they know what they're doing. They'll have you pay them to be their mentor. They'll take your money and they'll run off. So always vet whoever it is that you are going to want to be mentored by. So find somebody locally in your community, whether it's on Facebook, or you can go to RIA, which is a real estate investing meetup. You can go to a title company and figure out where those are. A lot of times you can find them on Facebook or the app Meetup itself. And then find, obviously power of social media. There's so many people out there you can learn from nowadays, and for
Love it.
free on YouTube.
Love it. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. All right, so next question. What should I educate myself about first?
Your state's laws. Educate yourself on the laws of your state, of what you can do. So, for example, in the state of Illinois,
Right.
you are not allowed to wholesale a property more than once a year unless you hold. After that, you need to hold a real estate license. A lot of people don't know that. So you need to understand what legalities you're coming into and the things that you can legally say and do
Mm.
uh, in your state. So for me, being in Arizona, we're almost like the wild, wild west sometimes to a certain degree. We can write an agreement on literally a leaf and take
Mm-hmm.
that to a title company. Um, it's pretty, yeah, it's
That's
pretty
wild.
nuts.
Okay.
um, yeah, that's an extreme example, but I know some people have written like on a napkin. But my point is that you want to understand what you legally can do in your state, both between marketing, between contracts, how to properly back out of contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how to legally approach this business is huge, and a lot of people don't understand what you can get into. That's something I think people don't understand, and also. Um, don't think that this is a get rich quick scheme. It's not. It's not a get rich quick overnight thing. This
Right.
takes a lot of consistency. It takes a lot of conversations. It can be painstaking at times, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, this thing doesn't work," and they can be on the brink of success. And there's people who do get home runs within their first week. So it all comes down to really, understand what you're getting yourself into, understand this business
Right.
to I say a startable degree. And by that I mean understand how these conversations go, what you're allowed to say to sellers, right? You can't guarantee them certain things. I guarantee that I'm going to give you $1 million. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And especially as you jump more so into the investing realm of real estate, you really want to make sure that you're doing right by people. Um, Make sure you always come from a place of giving value to these homeowners. A lot of people go after these homeowners. A lot of people harass them, and it can be annoying. Um, so that's something that I think is really important. That if I went back in time, because I again, right, just jumped into it and kind of learned as I went.
Right. Learn as you go along.
um,
Yep.
yeah, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that either. I don't want people to ever think like, oh, well, do I not just ever start? It's like, no, start, but at least have a decent understanding and foundation as to what you're doing.
Right. Makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So next question. What resources do I need?
What resources do you need? A pen?
Okay.
a cell phone,
Okay.
and a piece of paper. You
That's
can
it.
get through. You could literally get anything you need done. If you're starting out and you have no money,
Hmm.
I can tell you right now, we started our business no money with a pen, a piece of paper, and a cell phone.
Wow.
And at that point, because so what we would do is we would drive for dollars and drive for dollars. You're driving, look for just properties. That's just what you're looking for. And so, and by distressed, I mean signs of neglect, maybe overgrown grass,
Go back
broken
over
down
that. Go back
cars,
over that
broken.
answer again, Joseph. Go back over the explanation of what driving for dollars is. You cut out a little bit there. Go ahead.
My bad.
No, you're good.
So driving for dollars is you're looking for distressed properties. You're looking for properties that have some sort of neglect, whether it's a boarded up window,
Mm,
whether it's overgrown grass, maybe a tree come through the roof. Sometimes even a blue tarp on a roof is a good sign. And then houses that just look vacant. They look like they're empty. They look like maybe a homeless person, squatter is staying in that house.
right.
They more than likely don't own it, right? Those types of houses. And so what you'll do if you don't have the means or the resources of a driving for dollars app, because there are apps out there that you can use, but if you
Hmm.
have no budget, a pen, a paper, a little bit of gas in your car. If you have a car, if you don't, get a bicycle. If you don't have a bicycle, you got 2 feet, start walking.
Right.
um it just comes down to how bad do you want it. And then a phone, you have a phone. And one thing that I think a lot of people don't know is that you can use Google Voice to make your cold calls if you need to. There's free tools out there and free resources. You don't have to pay in the beginning for a lot of things,
Right.
especially in this business. So perfect example. This is something somebody brand new could do right now after they watch this.
Hmm.
Get up, either get in your car, go get on a bike, whatever you're doing, and you have two options. Take a pen and paper, go down a certain street, annotate what the name of that street is, and then find a property. So if the street was Main Street, you could write down 123 Main Street,
Right.
right? And that's your market. Or if you want to go a step further and make it even easier on you, I can tell you right now, go to Google Maps. And if you tag a property, if you tag any house on here, it's going to pull up the address.
Right.
Well, screenshot it, save it, right?
Right.
That way you don't have to write anything. You can just screen and go. And then when you get home, or if you're outside the property and it's vacant, you can
Hmm.
Google search, True People search, Fast People search. There's these free, what we call skip tracing or service companies that will provide you with phone numbers to these owners of these properties. And it can be a little grueling at times.
Hmm.
But I mean, again, how bad do you want it?
Right.
And then you're going to call up the homeowner and just say, hey, Mr. Shelley or Mr. John or Mr. Oliver, I was calling about your property over here on 123 Main Street. Just want to see if you're interested in selling it. And all the worst thing that can happen, they say no. The best thing that can happen, they say yes. You get a contract, you make $30,000, you can change your life forever.
Right. Let's go.
And that's literally simple. I mean, that's it.
Easy as pie. All right, let's go. Next question. Next question. How do you find a seller? I think part of your answer, your just last answer, kind of qualifies this,
Yeah.
but let's go over it anyway.
So there's a few ways to find sellers, right? It's through direct marketing, which is
Right.
key. Which could be direct marketing, could be cold calling, it could be texting, it could be something that you may have heard of. Some people haven't heard of it. What we call PPC or pay per click, which could be a sort of ad, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Google.
Yep.
Um, you can use all sorts of direct marketing or even sending mail. Right, you can send out mailers to homeowners. Um, or just door knock, right? The really, really direct approach. And I tell you right now, if anybody is scared of calling a homeowner asking
Mm.
if they want to sell, go door knock 5 houses. I'm not telling you to go door knock 50, go door knock 5. And you will literally have no fear in calling any homeowner ever again.
I
Like,
am 100% certain that is true because I'm not knocking on nobody's doors, and I've heard the stories. I got buddies who've done it, so that mess is wild. That's good
yeah,
advice. That's really
yeah.
good advice. All right, so
Uh,
go
what's
ahead. You
that?
got more?
And
Go
bandit
for it.
signs.
Go for it,
And
please.
you can do bandit signs. Bandit signs, if people don't know what those are, people, you probably see them in your areas where it
Mm.
says the signs that say we buy houses cash, or free windshield repair, or free cell phone repair. We buy diabetes strips. Those are bandit signs. Well, you could go to the this is a secret low budget tip if you want one. Okay, nobody's listening.
For those of you
Go
can't,
to,
those of you listening, Joseph's looking around, make sure nobody's
yeah.
tuning in.
What you can do is you could go to the Dollar Tree, you go to the Dollar General, go to a store that has cheap poster boards, the thicker cardboard ones. You
Mm,
can go buy those and you can cut them up into three. And when you cut them up into three, what you can do is you can take a screwdriver, you can take a knife, and you can cut 2 holes through the middle. Buy a pack of zip ties and go right on these signs. We buy houses cash, or whatever you want to say, whatever sounds good for you.
mm-hmm.
We've gone as far as to say we buy houses cash and we'll buy you tacos, and we put our phone number, and we've gotten phone calls, we've gotten text messages, we've gotten all that. So that's another way to reach out and find sellers, because now that at that point what they're doing is called inbound leads, because they're coming to you rather than when you're cold calling, those are outbound. So
Right.
um, the inbound ones are the ones you want. Those are sexy, but um, those are some of the easiest, some of the most common ways you can find a
Right.
seller.
That makes sense, man. That's excellent advice. Okay. So, last question is, does texting still work?
That's a very good question.
Mm,
So I'm not going to say it doesn't, because I have a good friend who does it
okay.
regularly. He does it on a mass nationwide basis. Um, the thing with SMS, yes, to answer your question directly, yes, it still works. The thing with SMS though is you need to be aware as to the laws as to sending out text messages, solicited text messaging. There are certain words that you're not that phone carriers are going to flag, such as property, homeowner, sale, investor. There's certain phrases that they will block. Um, they will have you put an opt out in the end of your text messages. So back in the day, what used to be, hey John, right now it would say, hey John, text end to stop, right? And that when we were doing texting, we no longer do texting, but when we
Right.
were,
Mm-hmm.
our KPIs, our key performance indicators, and our what we call our law, for what I call it is the law of average, is we would send about 237 text messages and get one lead. Well, in a period of like a month,
Mm-hmm.
we went from 237 text messages per lead to about 1,200 messages per lead. And then
Ooh.
it just gradually increased.
Right.
And at that point, you have to make a decision as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, like, all right, how am I going to pivot? And let me pivot the right way. And so
Right.
what we did is we pivoted out of texting. But again, I still know people who do it on a mass basis, and they're extremely successful with it. They found their niche. Um, but I know other people who've gone through. One lady who's going through a 6-figure lawsuit right now.
Wow. Over texting?
So over texting.
Jeez.
Can you
Yikes.
imagine that? And so for me, I mean, I'm like, dude, that's a 3 cent text message, and
Right.
that's it's like a yeah.
Good gracious. Woo, that hurts. That hurts my
Yeah,
soul.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay. That's good. I mean, that's good perspective though, because I definitely agree. I've seen some people who are doing great with it. I've also seen some people who just struggle with it. I think that would go, and I'm sure you agree, that go for just about every platform, every type of marketing. Some are gonna work, some aren't. You
Yeah.
just kinda gotta play it and figure it out as you go along. Take those stats.
Yep.
All right, so we're through the question and answer FAQs, ladies and gentlemen. Joesph has been here. Joesph has been educating you. Joesph, give them right now all your social media stuff, where they can reach out to you, how they can get a hold of you, and we'll close this out.
Yeah, no doubt. So you guys can find me on Facebook or Instagram via my name, Joseph Frangos. And again, a lot of people mess up my last name. It's Frangos. You can look me up on Instagram. You'll find me instantaneously. And then go follow what is my brand, The Legacy Makers, LGCYMKRS.
Love it.
Send me a DM, comment, whatever you can. I will respond, and it will be me. It's not going to be some robot or an assistant. It will be me. So
Word. All right, Joesph, we're going to need an affiliate and some kind of discount code. I'll put that you guys onto that once me and Joesph figure that piece out. Uh, in the meantime,
no doubt, no
thank
doubt.
you guys again for tuning in. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you go check Joesph out on Legacy Makers. Support how you can and where you can. We pray that this has been helpful to you and useful to you. And God willing, you're going to go out there and do great and wonderful things. So I'm going to create a custom outro on this. So in the meantime, We out.